Hello and welcome to another episode of the Adult Gymnastics Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to 100% to you, the incredible adult gymnastics community, and sharing your love and passion for the sport. We have a very special guest today. All of our guests are very special. They are gymnast enthusiasts, they're coaches, they're come from all backgrounds. We are pleased and excited to be joined by Hayley Silberg from Canada, and we will be discussing all about what Hayley does. Hayley is a coach. She is a adult gymnast. She is also the founder of Captivate Gymnastics, which is the fastest growing adult gymnastics community in Canada. She has many locations. She has
and Australia.
And Australia. She's going international. She has camps every summer and winter, and she's just so passionate about adult gymnastics. We had Hayley as a coach on our Colombia retreat. She is truly an example of someone that is spreading this sport for adults. And we're just so happy to have you here, Hayley, with us to learn everything it is that got you to this point, what you're doing now, and to follow you. So, Hayley, thank you very much for being here. We also have Jenny, our co-host, and I'm Hugh Smith. So thanks everyone for listening. Let's get started. Hayley, welcome to the show. Tell us what got you into the gymnastics world, and how did you end up where you are today?
This podcast has been going for 2 minutes and my face already hurts from smiling so much. I'm already having so much fun. Okay. What got me into the gymnastics world? Hugh, I think like everyone else, I grew up my story is that I grew up in gymnastics. I was never a competitive gymnast. Advanced rec all the way. Trained maximum 4 hours a week for my entire childhood, from parent and taught classes all the way until the end of high school. Then I was quite lucky to go to a university that had a gymnastics club, not a team, but a recreational club for people of all skill levels. So I was able to do adult gymnastics in that setting 3 evenings a week. It was absolutely my top priority while I was at university. It was like, if I study and get my homework done, then I can go to gymnastics. And that is how I got impeccable grades, was by using gymnastics as a reward for myself. And then after I graduated university, I moved across the country from Ontario to Alberta, where I live now. And I discovered that there's really no adult gymnastics framework out here. There wasn't really in Ontario either. I had some open gyms. I had drop-ins, but I didn't have structured classes. And I really wanted a coach. I wanted someone to spot me, and I wanted to condition. And I also wanted the consistency of training with the same people every week, which is what I had experienced when I was in my university setting. So having teammates that progress with you and cheer you on is just so valuable. And I missed having that consistency in this open gym type scenario. So when I moved out west, I was coaching, and I discovered in Ontario, there's really no such thing as Gymnaestrada or performance teams. Nothing like that, just regular gymnastics. When I moved out
and
west,
for the listeners in the US that don't know about Gymnaestrada, we're definitely going to talk about that because it's so cool.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
So when I moved out west, I fell into somehow coaching a performance team, and my team was mostly teenagers. So I had ages like 13 to 18 on the team, which already is like pretty old in the world of recreational gymnastics. And I would step in for the athletes when they were missing. I would like squeeze into their little gym suits and perform with them on the floor if someone was missing. So at the end of the routine, at the end of the performance, I'd just be like panting from exhilaration. Like, that was the best workout ever. That was so fun. I just did 17 tumbling lines and 4 handstands and all this dance choreography and chucked like 4 kids overhead into the air. And I feel like this is a way more fun version of fitness than going to the gym.
Totally.
Like the
And you can
regular
wear
5K.
bedazzles.
Yeah, I was bedazzled.
Yeah.
It was, and just like the social mentality of like
Mhm.
being on a team and performing together was so fun. So I thought to myself, like, this needs to exist for adults. I'm going to start this in Calgary.
I
So I
love it.
started, when Captivate first started, we had this acronym in the first 4 letters of our name, and we were the Calgary Adult Performance Team, creating routine to captivate audiences.
Wow.
I actually
Okay,
didn't even
there
know
it is.
that.
Me
That's the
either.
Easter egg in our name.
There you go. I love that. Wow.
And now
So
you
we
know
were-
everyone.
That is actually all Captivate was ever intended to be, was
Wow.
one Calgary adult performance team training one evening a week so that I would get to experience as an athlete what I had been coaching all of these years. And then
Wow.
it grew like crazy. So we started in
People
September
wanted
of
it, clearly.
2018. Yeah, we started in September 2018. By the end of the year, we had like 24 adults on the team,
Amazing.
which was wild. We were training once a week. And then people asked if we could have a south location. Oh, we don't want to drive all the way to the north. It's so far. Can we have a south location? So then I started a second team that was training out of a different gym in the south. On paper, we are our own independent gymnastics club. So we're registered with the Alberta Gymnastics Federation and Gymnastics Canada as an independent like member club, but we don't own a facility. At the time, we were renting space from one gym. And then in the second year, we started renting space from a second gym in the south. And that was how we were able to offer our programs. It was so scalable and like easy to start.
Boy, so
Yeah.
smart.
And then by the third year, we had 3 programs going. And then around the third year was when we started to branch and offer artistic gymnastics, just regular adult gymnastics, which has since become our bread and butter. So we do still have performance teams, and that's still an important part of Captivate. But now we're really just more an adult gymnastics club. And we have regular artistic gymnastics that combines all the apparatuses that are available in the gym, open to all genders. Then we also have specifically men's artistic and women's artistic, which speaks to the equipment being used, not the people who are in the group.
Because
And
like
then
pommels is my favorite thing ever. It's so
right?
fun.
The bucket. Love the bucket.
The mommels, I call them.
The mommels.
The mommels. It's a mom
That's
version of
so
pommels.
good. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah,
We
I call
also
them
have
mommels.
trampoline and tumbling. And then
So
we
fun.
recently started acrobatic gymnastics as well. So again,
Cool.
acrobatic gymnastics is like similar to Gymnaestrada in that you're working on partner tricks, which lend themselves very nicely to performing. But
Yeah.
those acrobatic teams don't necessarily perform. They might just be learning acrobatic tricks for fun.
That's so fun. Okay, now we got to go to Gymnaestrada. Tell us about, okay, I feel like everyone listening, so Hayley came to Colombia with us and it was the most fun thing ever. And we were doing like dancing on tables and loving it and having the wildest adventures. But Gymnaestrada was like big part of conversation. And I think it's the coolest thing ever. It sounds like a whole music festival for gymnastics. You get to perform and you meet people all over the world. And tell us more about this.
Yes, it is exactly like that, Jenny. A music festival, but for gymnastics. It's like a giant showcase. So World Gymnaestrada is an event that happens every 4 years. By the numbers, it's bigger than the Olympics because there's no qualifying to get in. Anyone can go. So there are about 18,000 gymnasts that show up from around the world to come to this event from about 65 different countries. And they all show up with a group gymnastics routine. And this ranges all the way from like a 3-minute routine with 8 to 10 people, all the way up to 15-minute long routines with 150 people all performing at the same time. Elaborate props and equipment, costumes, like Cirque du Soleil worthy makeup. Amazing
And it's
routine.
all ages, right? Like
It's the full range. The average age at World Gymnaestrada is 35.
So cool.
Yes.
Love
so
it.
there are kids running around in literal diapers underneath their gym suits that are performing in the routine.
Yes.
All the way up to grandparents who are like silver-haired rock stars that are doing
Badass.
handstands and cartwheels, some of them, but also just front supports and log rolls and front rolls. And they're doing partner tricks where like 4 people are all lifting one person. And so the physical element of their gymnastics is not hard per se, but it's entertaining. It's like well executed. It's clean. The formations are good. The timing and synchronicity is good. And the moves are really creative to adapt to the people that are in the routine. So
Incredible.
the entertainment value, even if the gymnastics itself isn't that hard, the entertainment value is top notch. Then there's also competitive gymnasts that participate in this. So there will be some teams of like rhythmic gymnasts or acrobatic gymnasts, and they look like they're actually made of rubber. Like they don't have a single bone in their body. They're so flexible. They're like doing handstands and arched over backwards, and their toes are like touching the backs of their hands like a full circle ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there is like advanced level gymnastics happening. There are people on air tracks doing like double tucks and twisting doubles and like really
Amazing.
hard gymnastics too. But then there's also people doing, like I said, front support and then lay down and log roll to the side and push back up. And it's like fitness, but also gymnastics at the same time.
How fun. I love that. It's for everyone, truly.
It's so inclusive. It's inclusive in terms of like age demographic, diversity of gymnastics discipline, because you'll see men's and women's equipment in the routines. Like I recall one routine that had 5 sets of parallel bars, and there were guys like swinging up to handstand, and then they would like walk across the parallel bars and swing back down. So you can use the equipment in really creative ways. There are like women's bars, but the bar wasn't attached to a set of bars. It was like being held by 2 people. And then people were doing like pullovers and cast to handstands, but while people were walking around carrying the bar. So you can use gymnastics equipment in totally unconventional ways. And there's lots of trampoline and tumbling. There's trampettes, lots of mini tramps that are being used, lots of air tracks. Lots of rhythmic gymnastics with hoops and clubs and ribbons all over the place. Lots of dancing too, like hip hop dancing or lyrical dancing. Just it really increases the breadth of what you might imagine gymnastics to be.
Oh, I love that so much. It's just like a whole celebration of movement and joy and community and connecting with people from all over the world and just having so much fun.
It's
I remember growing up in Canada, like I remember just hearing and learning about Gymnaestrada. But yeah, then moving here to the US, I haven't honestly, you're the first person that I heard Gymnaestrada like since I left Canada. It's been like 10 years. I haven't heard anything about it. And so yeah, it's interesting. It's really not well known here in the US, but I think it's such an incredible celebration of like what you said, like movement and just that's one thing that the European countries have really done a really great job at is preserving like the acrobatics. You know, in school, I know like in some places in Europe, like they still have high school gymnastics teams, you know, and they have like gym team and they may not be doing like the full gymnastics events, but they're doing like the tramp vault and like I know in Iceland, like
And
everyone
I was
does
gonna say,
gym and they've really done a great job at like preserving the acrobatics and the arts and so that's one thing.
And doing it for all people of all ages.
Yeah.
At whatever level works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Switzerland has really dialed this in, Hugh. Switzerland, Gymnaestrada is one of their national sports, not gymnastics. Gymnaestrada specifically.
Yeah.
So every little town, every province has 3 or 4 different Gymnaestrada teams to choose from.
Wow.
Some of them are like you have to try out and you have to actually like be able to do a back handspring. And then some of them are just for all levels. And, you know, some of them are located in different places. There's like a weekend one and a Tuesday night one. And there's so many options of Gymnaestrada to choose from. And many of them don't go to World Gymnaestrada. They just train on a weekly basis and they do a little showcase for their friends and family. And then they start on a new routine 3 months later.
Yeah. Similar like in Denmark, I know like tumbling is really big in Denmark. Like, you know, everyone's like tumbling and yeah, it's really, really great. It's kind of a shame that over in, you know, in America, like like for whatever reason, I don't know if it's in the schools like they got worried about like insurance and all that, people like getting injured and stuff, but like programs have in the schools have completely disappeared. And yeah, I love that. That's amazing. Well, there's another thing that people can get involved with. I know there is a US
Remember, we did have a meeting with the head of the of the U.S. team, and it's actually coming to Vegas. So Gymnastrada, the next one, I think it's in
In
Portugal for next summer,
2031.
and then the following one is in Vegas. So they are trying to get it bigger here in the U.S.
yeah.
So let's go to Vegas together, Hayley.
Yeah.
Go see the
Yeah, we'll have-
Backstreet Boys concert. Hayley just went to the Backstreet Boys concert this year. Maybe that'll happen during Gymnastrada, and we'll have a huge trip out of it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it'll
I was
be
about
at
to
the
say,
Sphere.
if you haven't heard of it in the US, you're about to. Because, like I
It's coming.
said, like Jenny said, Portugal is 2027. So that's coming up in July next year. And then 4 years later, they've already announced that the next one is going to be in Vegas. It's the first time ever since the 1970s that
Wow.
World Gymnaestrada has happened outside of Europe.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, if there's a place to do it, it's Vegas. Vegas
be
can
so
host
fun.
all kinds of places. Maybe it'll be in the Sphere. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh my God. That would
Oh
be
my
crazy.
goodness.
Imagine?
Like
Wow.
opening ceremonies. I was saying like, okay, Vegas in July is like, well, that's going to be crazy hot. But the opening and closing ceremonies are going to be unreal because they're just going to pick from all of the residency shows that are in Vegas all of the time. And they're going to blow all of the participants' minds with the professional acts, which will be really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny, we'll have to
cool.
start getting together, because we've met so many of our adults that come to our retreats and things like that. We've met so many that are also involved in other like artistic, circus arts or other things. Like I was just
acro,
did a podcast with a girl named Mars Klepe, and she tells me that she competes also like in the pole arts. And then Jessica from Iceland, she does like the swinging trapeze, and we've met so many. So like we could definitely pull from these people and put together a Vegas 20.
A Vegas
so
fraternity routine.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so great.
Yeah, for the people who are listening, can I do a little plug for how to get involved with Gymnastrada?
Oh, please do.
Okay, great. So there are lots of adult Gymnastrada teams, or rather, I'll say Gymnastrada teams that have adults on them.
Okay.
Those are two separate things. Like Captivate is an all-adult Gymnastrada team, but then there's also teams that have kids and adults together. So if you live in a city that has an in-person team, then by all means, I would suggest going and joining that because that social experience is just really fun to train with the same people week after week in person and to work with them and calibrate your acrobatic tricks is super fun. But if you're in a city that doesn't have a team, or maybe the team doesn't vibe with you, or you want an all-adult Gymnastrada experience, then Captivate is running a team that is going to Portugal in July 2027. And we have in-person members, but then we also have online members. Okay. And as long as you're willing to walk in to opening ceremonies dressed in the maple leaf, because we are part of Team Canada, really anyone can join. Like you don't actually have to be Canadian to be part of the Captivate team. You just have to be willing to wear the maple leaf. We have people on our team online from Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, Whitehorse, or Yukon rather, and Northwest Territories.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah. Sorry. I think I missed one. Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, Yukon, Whitehorse. Those are all the online participants. And then we have in-person participants in Alberta. So we're like really covering the whole country. We don't have a lot of those people from those other provinces. I would definitely welcome more. But we're slowly growing with our online participation.
International Captivate team.
Workshops. Pardon?
We can do an international Captivate team. Let's get people from South America, Australia. Who knows? Let's go.
Yeah, this is really cool. So we piloted this for the first time last year. We actually just attended the Canadian Gymnastrada last month, and it was our first time. It was our first time doing a routine with online participants. And I really wanted them to be fully integrated into the team. Like I wanted you to watch the routine and not know which people practiced in person and which people joined online. And I think we did achieve that. They were fully integrated. So it worked really well. It was all done from videos. There was lots of homework. There was a lot of Zoom. We had office hours. Like when you were back at university, there were like certain
Very
hours
serious.
every week when anyone could log in and they could ask questions about choreography, or they could show videos of tumbling or handstands and get online coaching for that. And then they came to Alberta once or twice and practiced with the team and performed with the team a couple of times before we all met up at National Gymnaestrada, which was actually in a province called Saskatchewan. And we were there 2 days early. We had 2 days of workshops all together. And then by the time performance day rolled around, we were ready to go. It was great.
Amazing.
Yeah, adults are
love it.
so capable of
Yes.
learning stuff from a video or like looking at a formation sheet, a PowerPoint of and being like, okay, I see I'm in a lane for this, I'm on a line for this. The whole floor is in strips, so everything is lanes and lines, and you just learn your formation and where you're supposed to be and who you're working with, and it's great. Like adults can do anything. So it was super
Yes.
fun. And this is the open invitation to anyone listening. If you're interested in being a part of World Gymnaestrada, if you want to experience Portugal, and if you live in the US and you're thinking that you want to take a team to Vegas in 2031, then the starting point for you is to join a team and go to Portugal 2027. That is what I did, and I really recommend that. I was an athlete on a team in 2019. We went to Austria. It was a mostly rhythmic gymnastics team, so that's not my style of gymnastics, but it was an investment. It was fine. Then in 2023 in Amsterdam was the first time that I coached a Captivate team, and it was all in person. And now 2027 will be our second time taking a group, and this time we've got the online participants. So you can do that same journey. If you come along with the Captivate team as an athlete, you'll feel so much more ready to then manage or coach a team to Vegas 2031 after you've experienced it yourself.
Now I can vouch for Hayley. She's so much fun to travel with. Absolutely. Go do that. That sounds amazing. Because you don't have to just stop performing when you're 8 years old. You know, you get to perform and have fun and make those friends and like be on a stage and all that. That's so important.
Totally. I feel like Gymnaestrada is like equally about bonding with your own team and deepening the friendships within your own team, but then also making friends with the other teams, right? So you do lots of activities with your team. You have team dinners. When we were in Saskatchewan, we did karaoke. We went to mini golf. We had team dinners. We had a handstand training session in the ballroom of the hotel that we were staying in. We had like hair tinsel parties where we like put tinsel into everybody's hair. We did arts and crafts. We did those little like clothespins, and then we ran around and clothespinned everybody, which was super fun. So we had a lot of team bonding stuff going on, which was super fun. But then we also met people from the other teams and hung out with them and watched their routines and you know, exchanged phone numbers with them and hung out. It was great. It was so much fun. So it really is like an internal social experience and then a big external social experience too.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Okay, so we only have like a minute left of the show. And Hayley, I want to know if you like standout stories you have from starting Captivate, maybe some people that did it, maybe some people that for our listeners here think like, maybe I want to try gymnastics, but I'm a little bit scared, I'm intimidated. I don't know. Tell us a couple stories about people that have been part of Captivate.
Okay, yes. Wow. Okay. If finishing the show in like 1 minute, then I feel pressured now. Okay. One of the most memorable people who has come through the doors of Captivate, the metaphorical doors, because we operate in 20 different gyms, is someone by the name of Marianne Monkton. She goes by Mez, and she's Australian. She found herself,
came to Bali with us.
That's right. She's
an adult
gymnastics.
Shout out to Mez. Big hugs.
Hi, Mez. Mez she found herself living in Canada, in Western Canada specifically, for a brief period of time. She came to a few Captivate classes as an athlete, was like, oh my God, I thought that I would never do gymnastics again. So her story is that she grew up in elite level gymnastics, like very high level. She won medals at the Commonwealth Games. She went to the Olympics as part of Team Australia, like very elite level gymnastics. And then she finished her gymnastics career with an injury, and it was not on her terms, or on good terms, I should say. So she thought for sure she was never coming back to the sport of gymnastics. And then there she was, like nervously walking into a Captivate class. She felt so welcomed,
Yay.
so refreshed at the
Mm.
culture of adult gymnastics, where you're not pressured to learn skills. You're encouraged to have fun and listen to your body and progress at your own level. You're allowed to say no.
Very
That was
important.
so novel to her, to have the freedom to say no.
Yeah.
And she ended up moving back to Australia after only 6 months with Captivate. And she took Captivate with her and started up Captivate Australia, which is now super successful. She's just signing the paperwork on her third rental gym.
Yeah.
No way. I love it.
She's got over 80 participants at any given time.
Yeah.
And they're all, she's got 10 plus coaches, I think, and they're running 12 programs a week of adults doing gymnastics. Right now she's in the Newcastle area, which is an hour from Sydney, but she's going to expand all over Australia, as Captivate Canada has done. We started in Calgary and then we expanded to Edmonton, and now we have programs in Winnipeg and Yellowknife as well. And there are more programs coming soon. I just got confirmation this morning. We're starting up a new program in Fort McMurray.
Cool.
And we've got a Strathmore program. So we're still, Captivate Canada is still expanding, and then Captivate Australia is going to continue expanding. And I just want to put the opportunity out there that if you don't live near a Captivate program, or you don't live near an adult gymnastics program, and you want help starting one, to reach out to me, whatever country you live in, because I would love to help get that started. That would be really exciting. We'll just keep adult gymnastics taking over the world slowly. The goal is to make sure that everyone, we just want everyone to have access to adult gymnastics in a way that's safe and inclusive and fun. So if I can help you do that, please reach out to me. That's one thing I'd like to say.
I think that's great.
That's really great, Hayley. Because, you know, what I've seen in this space is, you know, adults will find out that they can go to gymnastics, that there's a class, and then they show up, and really there's nothing really structured. There's nothing really to support them in continuing, you know, to progress. And so they go a couple times, and then maybe they lose interest or they get injured, and then that's it, right? So I think it's great what you're doing. You know, you have a program, you have structure, you have you know, standards for coaches and all these things and progressions, and you're doing something that really keeps it safe, fun, progressive, and a lot of different opportunities with the things that you offer. So yeah, I think that is an amazing thing that you're offering in Canada. And you said Yellowknife or Yukon. I think that would be a really cool place for a retreat, a Yellowknife or Yukon retreat up there. Like, go do some what is it, ice fishing, and go into sleep in an igloo or something, and then go do gymnastics, and then find a hot tub or a sauna. That would be a cool retreat.
Yellowknife has a gorgeous gym, and Whitehorse as well, actually.
I know.
There's a lot of money up in northern Canada, a lot of funding for sports activities. So they all have really nice facilities that mostly are underused because there's not that many people that live up there.
Yes.
And the people
I love
who
that
live there are the salt of the earth, like nicest people ever.
I bet so.
And Yellowknife in particular is so nice. Every March, they have this massive snow festival where they build a giant a snow castle on the lake. And the Northern Lights are going in full blast, and it's amazing.
We definitely have a trip there. Northern Lights, Ice Castle, nice gym. Let's go.
I know we talked about doing a Captivate Adult Gymnastics like collab retreat, but I think that would be an incredible place to do something like that. We're always looking for cool, unique places to do these retreats, to give people not only a chance to go and do gymnastics, but also a chance to like check off a bucket list place like Northern Lights. You know, so
and go with the best people you'll ever meet. So,
so
everyone's been on retreat. I'm like, let's all be best friends
together.
Yeah.
It's super
also
fun.
What I love so much.
I'd love to mention. Sorry. Is it? If it's okay, the other thing I'd love to mention is that we also run camps. So our camps are quite different than your retreats. The thing that's the same about them is that super bubbly, inclusive culture where everyone feels supported and motivated. We share that, which is something I love about adult gymnastics retreats. And I experienced that in Colombia. It was the best. But our camps are like more sort of training focused. We do about 20 hours of gymnastics over a 3 or 4 day period. And then we also do handstand training and a circus workshop and team activities and social activities. So we have a winter camp that happens every year in the Canadian Rocky Mountains. If you've heard of Banff, this place is half an hour away from Banff in a town called Canmore, where they have a really nice gym, in-ground trampoline, big foam pit, everything, men's and women's equipment, lots of acro space. And that we're running that this year over New Year's. So if you're looking for something fun to do on New Year's, fly out to Canada on December 31st. And then we'll do gymnastics in the evening. We'll go out and have a big New Year's dinner. And then we'll start off 2027 the best way possible in the gym doing
literally
gymnastics.
Into the new year, literally.
Flipping into the new year. January 1st and 2nd.
Like at 11:59, like everyone just starts doing back handsprings on the floor, like into the new year. Like,
forget a New Year's kiss. That's overrated. We want to do a New Year's
way better. Do some New Year's giants instead. So what made me the happiest ever is Anna, Juliana, and Linda, who came to Colombia, all went to Hayley's summer camp and they all took pictures together. They were in their matching Sofia Capana leotard, having the time of their life. And I was like, okay, this is what matters most to me is people making new friends. Like that's why I started the whole retreat, is for those really deep, close friendships. And then you get travel and do fun stuff together and do gymnastics together. And I was like, this is the best moment ever. Everyone's now with you in Canada. They go from Colombia the next month or in Canada.
Yeah. And we have our next summer camp dates finalized as well. So that was our winter camp, December 31st to January 2nd. Our summer camp is July 30th to August 2nd. So that one's longer. It's 4 days. And the summer camp is cool because it includes accommodations and meals. So you really just have to show up and then everything else is figured out for you.
All right,
so
I'm going to show up.
Retreats.
I'm going to show
up. It's like
up,
our summer camp is like your regular retreats and our winter camp is like your Salt Lake City retreats where you have to figure out your own accommodation and meals. It's a good time.
We love it so much, Hayley. Thank you so much for joining us. It was absolutely, I feel like we could talk for 15,000 million more hours, but we'd have to like continue on with our lives and everything. But we could just talk about our love of gymnastics so much and travel and people and like gymnastics for mental health and therapy and like, oh my gosh, we've gone forever. But it was fantastic talking to you. Probably have to get you back on the show again. Everyone, go check out Captivate. Bring Captivate to your country. Let's do it. Let's get Captivate everywhere. We love the method.
Yeah, give us a follow on all the socials at Captivate.gymnastics on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook, all the things.
And it'll be in the show notes too to doing everything.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for having me on the show. Like literally my face hurts because I had so much fun from smiling and just like talking about gymnastics makes me so happy. Hanging out with you two makes me happy. And I love that we share this like same mission of making gymnastics accessible and normalized within the adult community. It's so great to like have partners like you guys in this mission. So thank you so much for having me.
All body types, all backgrounds, all ages. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Hayley, thank you very much. Jenny, you're right. We definitely will have you back on the show again. You are a great ambassador for this sport, for adult gymnastics. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You have been listening to the Adult Gymnastics Podcast with Hayley and Jenny and myself, Hugh Smith. And until next time, keep flipping, keep loving, keep sharing this beautiful sport and way of movement. And we will see you next time. Thank you very much, Hayley.
Thank you.